You know those pamphlets you saw? It's not all. This was in June. A bomb went off at a synagogue in Boise. That's just the beginning.
Beginning of what?
Tye Sheridan, this film is incredible. Your performance is incredible, man. Oh, man. I know this film's set in the 1980s, but it definitely has some modern day relevance. Look, your character, Deputy Jamie Bowen, growing up, he grew up with some of the members of the order. Jamie has firsthand knowledge of their fanaticism. How does this shape your approach to the character, and how did that affect his fearlessness or caution in these critical moments?
Yeah, thank you. Really appreciate that. Yeah, no, I think that was the thing that intrigued me most about, portraying this character is that, I grew up in a small town and a small community, and I've always found it fascinating that, two people that grow up playing sports together, grow up going to school together, or in the same church together, one can go left, one can go right, and end up on completely opposite ends of the spectrum. And I think that this film really showcases that. And then, my character is really will go to the very end to defend his family and his community from a direct threat from some of the people he's known growing up.
Absolutely. Now, I want to talk about some of those themes of family, especially the themes of family dynamic. Can you talk about that theme and how that background manifests itself in Bowen's character, and what ways does that influence your performance?
Yeah, well, I don't have any kids. I don't have a family, so this is the first time I was doing that on screen, and so it was one of the more interesting challenges in the role. I have to think about something that I don't really know personally, but I could imagine I'm really close to my family, and I think when you have kids and you have something that can be a direct threat to them in your community. I mean, there's a strength probably that comes out of you that you didn't know you had. So it's really about trying to find that in the film, that was kind of the journey for me.
Now, you are incredible in this film, and you share most of your scenes with Jude, who plays Terry Husk. Absolutely. Both of you guys disappear into these roles. Can you talk about working with Jude in some of those more intense scenes?
Yeah, I mean, he's terrific, right? He's amazing in this movie. I mean, he's amazing in most of the work he does. And I got to see why, because he's so dedicated to what he does. He spends so much time preparing to play these characters, and just getting to see his process kind of unfold right there before me was really fascinating, and I learned a lot from Jude. And he's someone I really admire, not only because he's super talented, but because he's just insanely dedicated to what he does. And he doesn't take himself too seriously. He takes the craft very seriously, but he doesn't take himself too seriously. And he's always trying to make everyone else around him as best as they can be. And, that's the perfect collaborator. So yeah, we had a great time working together. I hope we get to do it again in the future.
Absolutely. Look, last time I talked to you, Tye, I expressed my love of the character Cyclops. He is my favorite superhero of all time. You did a fantastic job of portraying him. Do you feel like there's more story to tell, especially now that we had Hugh back as Wolverine and Channing playing Gambit? Do you think there's more stories to tell as you as Scott Summers?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's a question, as if there's more stories to tell. I mean, I think there's probably always more stories to tell. I think the question is whether audiences have a desire for those stories, and, whether we feel like, those types of films have been oversaturated or they're not, or if there's, a new way to kind of make those films. I'm not real sure.
Awesome. Well, look, thank you for your time. You are incredible in this film. Man, it was an intense ride for that hour and 40 minutes or hour and 50 minutes that I was watching it. But man, congratulations. Thank you for your time.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Good talking to you.
Numbers they get.
Let's go!
3.6 million.
What does that buy?
Buys an army.
It's happening. War's begun.